So talk to me about this set, because I know that like you sent this to me, and from what I can see here, the main things that I'm noticing you're calling out is what bait, like it all deals with like conditioning and baiting for the most part, and then there's some like bits about neutral in here. Would you say that's like kind of apt, or?
Yeah, a bit of decent amount of neutral. There was some like baiting, and I think a lot of like edge guarding or
Mm-hmm.
recovering stuff like that.
Okay.
Feel like my general game plan against Puff is a lot of times don't challenge them at the ledge, and I think that's something I need to fix.
Gotcha. So one thing I want to like point out here is that like I'm already seeing we're not even in the match yet, and I'm already seeing something that like is a little bit like a bit of a no-no. So we're like
Okay.
it looks like you're willing to play a lot of hands that like Crudo would say like you just don't play versus Jigglypuff. Because Crudo and I, from what I can tell, we have a very similar like philosophy here in this matchup, in that whenever you have like a shitty hand versus Puff, like she's like crouching in front of you or something or doing that crap, we just don't play it. It's just not worth it to play it compared to repositioning, charging our needles. Like it's a boring matchup to me in a lot of ways, because there's not a whole lot of reason to stay in fights that are unfavorable. There aren't really many reasons to try to force hits until you have positional advantage. So as an example, I would never go for this down smash. Like, after this, like this here, where you just kind of like run forward and try to hit him, this to me is like exactly the kind of play that we don't want to do, because if we think about like how Jigglypuff operates, if he jumps here away from you at any point, or even just like dashes here, doesn't dash all the way away, like this is like an F smash, it's a wave dash back rest, it's a jump away pound. Like there's so much lag being presented by this move that if he doesn't overdo his retreat, and I have no idea why he did, because like he's Jigglypuff. What the hell is Sheik gonna do running after him, right? Like friggin' boost grab, okay. Risk your stock, go off. Like it's just so bad. Like it's just so dangerous for her to like chase in that kind of spot. The truth is she just doesn't have to. So my question is how do you see the way that you win this matchup? Like what are you looking for, and what are you looking for, and what are you looking out for?
So I think what I'm looking for is, well, especially on this stage, but I want to get a lead and essentially force them to approach me because I have the lead.
Sure.
I feel like the matchup changes a lot depending on that.
Okay.
In terms of, sorry, so we're talking about how we win the matchup. What am I looking for? What am I avoiding? I'm avoiding crouching Puff. In general, trying to be safe around the ledge so I don't get reversaled or, things like that. So I want to keep center stage, and then in general looking for like those favorable positions. So like when she's up and at an angle from you, so you can like back air.
Fair, nair, yeah.
Yeah.
The stuff.
Yep, exactly. And then in terms of like other little things about the matchup, so like over like 50-ish%, your dash attack will knock down. So you can when they're crouching, so you can catch a lot of Puffs that don't know that. Doing that. I mean, the danger is if they time it right, they can rest you as you're coming in for the dash attack. You can get grabs off of bad pounds in the air, especially, or in the air, like getting grabs that way. But obviously, like, can quickly land and CC and then rest you.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically getting rested, avoided getting just gimped off stage, trained off stage.
So it seems like there's a lot of ways we can die in this matchup.
Right. But on the other side of that, we kind of have the speed advantage in neutral for the most part, unless we get into the air, which we don't particularly want to do unless we know what we're doing there.
Yeah, so I want to show you like a quick moment of like Crudo versus SGJ real quick, just because I think it like encapsulates a lot of the things that are different, like other things going on. I also captured this to answer your question as to like what your down smash countered. It beat her grab, because like that was one of the things you called out, and you wanted to know, what exactly is this down smash beating? Like what did it beat? This would work versus her spot dodge too, I believe. But the thing is, like, I just don't know why we would ever, like, play for this down smash. Like, that's the thing. She's at too low of a percent for me to, like, really want to do it. So let's take a look at how Crudo does this. Because I think that this is kind of the platonic ideal of the matchup to me. And let's go a little slower. So, what do you notice about what he's doing, just from looking at it for this first, like, 10 seconds?
He's not really approaching unless they're above him.
Yeah. That's a kill.
Yep.
So let's actually watch the next stock, too, because I think this will be instructive as well. What moves do you notice he's doing for, like, neutral? Like, what actions do you notice he's doing for neutral?
A lot of tilts.
Really?
And aerials. But I'd say, like, especially on that platform, it's like up tilt, forward tilt,
down
tilt for the kill confirm with the up air.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Not a whole lot of dashing. A lot more walking and wave dashing.
Crouching, yeah.
And crouching, yeah, a lot of crouching.
Yeah, what do you think?
That was, like, one of the other things I was wondering about. It's like, all right, where do I want to CC against Puff? Like, in the match, I definitely saw there was a spot where I was CC'd in F smash and was able to get a punish off of it. So I think just trying to be more aware of those options.
Gotcha. So the big thing is, I'd recommend not thinking of it as CC, and it's just think of it as crouch, because, like, really the main thing that, like, that crouch does against most characters as Sheik is it makes you tiny. It makes you so small.
Got it.
So, like, by being small, what do you think the advantage of being small versus Jigglypuff is?
I mean, it limits a lot of her moves.
Okay, how?
So, I mean, she has to be more precise with the back air in order to hit you.
Okay.
Up air can't really get in there and pop you up.
Yeah. What else?
I guess, like, you're also, like...
Probably can't get up tilt rested easily.
Right. And you can't get, like, aerialed into... Like, you're CC'd already. Right. Like, if they're going to, like, try to cross you up with Nair or something, like, that's not going to do anything to you. Dash attack, F smash, that type of stuff. So you're low profiled, so you don't get hit by as many of her moves. And then you're also CC, ASDI down, whatever, so that you aren't getting knocked down as much.
Yeah, that seems good. Also, her rising back air doesn't hit you.
Okay.
That seems important.
I didn't know that was specific for the rising back air, but in general, a lot of her back airs are effective.
Yeah, like her rising full hop back air is like straight up whiffs you every single time. So that seems important to me because that means that like she can't do her fastest like attack that leaves her in like a vertically aligned position for like falling back air. She has to do the short hop ones, which are much less good in a lot of ways because they're the ones that we want to like jump around to slap her. Like look at how he gets this kill in a second. Okay, it's not off that. It's off the next thing. Because I think that he comes up with a thing. See, like how he's just like jumping around the back ear, like the short up back ear? It's because the crouch is forcing him to do them like that, and then he's just like being like, okay, neat. See what I mean? So this is also the point I wanted to make about shield pressure. So like let's pretend that like he gets this. Let's pretend like Crudo goes for like needle. Let's say Jigglypuff like shields here instead of going for this shield grab. Like let's pretend we have the same situation you have in your game, and he gets the falling needle onto like SDJ's shield grab. So I'm saying that like. The reason I wouldn't down smash is because if down smash is DI'd correctly, you're risking your stock because of the end lag for like 13 damage. But what I would go for is something more like that Nair that he did, right? Because after like you can jump, like the needles allow you to like dash away or like jump over Jigglypuff's grab before it like actually hits you. This also checks for spot dodge. This also checks for up smash at like if you space it. And then you're able to come down with a descending aerial very, very cleanly. If she holds block, you're in a position where you can continue pressuring effectively because you're now short hopping. She has to basically call it out with like an aerial out of shield going forward versus Sheik, which is like very, very, very not something that she doesn't want to usually do.
Okay, so with with that nair, are you saying just doing it descending, or should I be doing like the same like needle into nair?
So what I'm saying here is like, let's go to your match. So like in this moment, you what you do is you go for like you'll see what I mean. Like we'll pause it on the moment. So it's coming up in just a second. So this was good. Again, you hit him. He's right in front of you. Let's follow up on this going forward. Like this should have been a forward tilt after this fair.
Yep.
But like on this, you see how you're like landing here and you're kind of like, you know, and he's now just like going for this like grab. No, he's going for this grab at the same time you down smash. Well, if your down smash hit him on 5 and beat out his grab, then that means you probably could have just jumped. You could have just jumped over it because you're airborne on 4, right?
Right. Okay.
So then you could have like just jumped backwards here, like backflip or jump in place back. Either's fine. Her grab is very low to the ground, so I think we just go over it either way. If you want to be super safe, you could dash jump this way. Like, you could dash jump this way and backflip if you wanted to back air or something, which would also work. There's a lot of different ways you can approach this situation, but the idea here is, like, we could have easily jumped again.
Got it. So using jump to get away from field grab.
Yeah. Because here, like, let's look at this situation, think about her options for a second. So what can she do here other than this shield grab? Because we know that she can do this, but what else does she got?
I mean, she can wave dash and rest, F smash.
Yeah. So like going to about here.
Down smash her of her own, maybe. Though, I mean, that's not as good in this situation.
I mean, like, so wave dash rest hits on 16, so I think like we can justify that as like a reasonable like thing, but I'm not gonna really worry about things that are slower than that because like we're pretty efficient here too. So let's think about up smash. I think it makes a ton of sense to be worried about.
Up smash, yep.
Because like that's gonna hit this area basically. So
right,
and then on top of that, so like grab hits here. I'd also say rest hits here, so this is good. What else does she have? She doesn't really have aerials out of shield. Like, her aerials out of shield aren't really that impressive, are they, facing forward, right?
Yeah, she could maybe, like, try to drill into rest or something out of shield. But...
yeah. She, like, okay, so, and then if we tracked that movement, she'd go, like, probably here, like, up in some way. Like, she'd probably have to full hop it, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, we're not going to get... It's not going to combo us at, like, this %. So, like, she'd have to do, like, the nonsense version of it, like, where she goes up like this. So now let's start assigning some times to these, because I want to put... I think the timing really will put things into perspective. So this is 7. This is 8. This is 16, because of the wave dash. And this is 10. Cool. So these aren't terribly fast, are they?
No.
So then, if we are Sheik, and we're here, like, what we can do is, we get to about here in the air on, like, 4 with our short hop. Maybe this is 5. Maybe this is 5. We'll say this is 5, just to be on this, just so that we'll give some leniency. So by just moving up here, we avoid, like, basically all of these, right?
Right.
Yeah, because this is airborne 4, but we're, like, we'd probably be about here, but here. Cool. So with this in mind, this is why I like coming down with another like doing aerial into like needle into aerial here, or like just aerial into aerial on her in general. Because the other thing here is we don't have to like do it here. We can also do a dash jump away from her, and we'll be oriented like this is where we're facing here. This is where we're facing here, and then we would be oriented here on the same frame because like. Again, because it's +1 for the dash jump and then everything else. So we'd actually be probably slightly lower, but like that's fine because that means we're here.
Right.
Which is like perfectly reasonable. Like at this point we can just easily like here we have like our fairs, here we have our like back air. Like we have so many threats that like are good against what she generally does, and we're not really in the range of anything scary either. So like jump and so I'd say jump and dash jump. No, and dash away. No, and dash jump away. Is there anything else that like makes sense here, do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking about this a little earlier when I was watching it, but it's a similar idea with playing against Peach where you can kind of jump to get out of trouble often, but here it's more to jump to cause trouble. for
I
them.
love that. Yes, that is such a good way of putting it. The other thing that we could consider is just wave dashing back so that we're like wave dashing back into crouch. I don't personally love this one because I feel like the offensive options, like we have them available to us because we had a really good opening, but like hypothetically, because again, we go here on 14, like, and it's also laggier than the others. Like we wind up here on like, no, it would be 13 because we're Sheik, but like it works. I don't love it, but it works. The other one that makes some amount of sense to me is going to the side platform with Needle. So how this would work is we go up here, we finish here, and then like on our way up we probably like shoot the Needle at her like this, and it gives us like this nice like approach angle to come off the platform with afterwards. I don't know what this is, so we'll just do this, but like we get away in time, I assure you. Yeah. So this
and then things to watch out for here, maybe like jab, grab. I know those things.
Not even like we're worried about fair out of shield. Ironically enough, like we're worried about her doing exactly fair and found out of shield.
Sorry, I meant for our options. We want to avoid jabbing her shield or trying to grab her.
Because like she's at 13 and we're at 22, and if we like jab and she rests us, we're so unhappy because we've just like thrown away a stock at 22. Right,
and then like none of the tilts or anything there.
Precisely.
Okay.
We're ground to ground. Like, in general, the good positions for us are air to ground. Like, us on the ground and her in the air. Air to ground, us in the air, her on the ground. And then, like, air to air. Like, air to ground is, like, not good, but it's workable. Air to air is great for us, as long as we're set up. As long as we decided how it works. Ground to ground is terrible. We do not like ground to ground. Like, we sometimes have to play it out of necessity, but we never want to, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, if you just, like, all of the things you're doing in, like, ground to ground against her, like, that up smash is great. Like, that was so good. I would be, like, sharking her way more aggressively, but you can see, like, the second that we're on ground to ground with her, like, we're unhappy. Because she's just, like, getting hits on us.
That makes sense.
Like, see, like, that dash attack, short up back. Short up back here is ground, by the way. That's a ground move.
Okay.
Because she can't double jump after doing it, I think. Or, like, I don't think she can double jump after doing it, or it's, like, really, like, bad or laggy or whatever. Like, it's slow. So then what we do in response to that is we usually jump around it and short up fair her. So, like, it still follows the same rules as air to ground. Even though it's a back air. Even though it's short up back air. Short up nair is also ground for this reason. Like, her short up nair is also, I would consider, like, a quote-unquote ground move. Because it follows the same rules as the ground moves. Okay? So with this in mind, like, you can see how we've lost basically stocks off, like, getting into ground-to-ground fights. And she just kind of, like, knocks us off balance and is able to then, like, set up a good play on us. Because, yeah, like, you see how awkward that is. So this is why I mean, like, we just don't want to be in this spot. Because, like, yeah, now we're, like, swinging at her, we're swinging at air. And, like, because we have to, like, act in such, like, specific ways to, like, make ground moves work against her, it makes it so obvious for what she's supposed to do with her aerials if she decides to do, like, if she decides to do our ground into her air. Our ground into her air is not, like, actually that good. It's really just air to air that we, like, straight up dominate, unless she's, like, high above us and we can just, like, shark her. But if she can have horizontal orientation with us, it's really more of an even position. Because her air mobility goes crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Like, see what I mean? Like, this doesn't seem like ruthlessly overpowering. The spots that feel good are when we're, like, air to air when we're in, like, the driver's seat.
Got it. Yeah.
And that would be a good example of, like, the kind of alignment we want on, like, air to ground. Like, granted, you got it off a roll, which is kind of, like... Honestly, it's kind of sick, because, like, I don't usually think, like, combat roll... Like, combat roll doesn't work as much as it used to, but, like, this is phenomenal. Like, this angle, boom, lovely. This is actually a good general screenshot. Let me grab this one, because I want to... Like, we can kind of think of, like, Sheik's threat zones based off this, and... it makes, like, logic, like, reason some things out. So this is where Sheik is generally, basically, right? Assuming she's standing. So what we have here is up tilt hits above her. Like we hit up tilt hits about here. We also have her second hit of up tilt here, kind of. So this is okay, but it's not quite as good. But it is worth noting. Where would a forward tilt be here?
Forward tilt would be
like
just kind of where those... Oh, yeah. Starting there and... Yep.
Yeah, so we notice that there's overlap between these two. Like, they share an endpoint, kind of.
Right.
And like,
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then we finally have, like, down tilt in front of us like this. Maybe not that far. Maybe, like, here. But we can see that there's specific zones that, like, Sheik covers more strongly than others with her tools. Like, this is kind of like down tilt. This is how her forward tilt travels. Like, this all makes sense, right? Like, none of this is a surprise.
Correct. Yep.
Cool. And now let's do aerials. We'll use a bigger, like a more bright color for those because they're like really what we're going for a lot of the time. So like fair would be like here, like when she short hops, her fair is like a little higher than her up tilt. It'd probably be about here. And it's like hits her head and then it swings down and in front of her to like here, right?
Yep.
Perfect. So what we have here is like we have this. We have this. What about her nair? Like, her nair is not really a move we use for combat, but it's, like, all that as much, but, like, it's kind of, like, here on her body. In the air, she would be a little bit higher up, so we'll use orange for that. No, wrong one. Oh. All right, whatever. What I want to ask you then is, where does her bear hit? Because that's, like, the really big one. Like, help me out with her bear.
It'd probably be, yeah, I would say...
Probably about here, right?
Yeah, I was thinking like between like that little bit of those couple fence posts behind Puff.
Like here?
Yeah, I think so.
Her bear is crazy. And that's important to remember. There is a hitbox like in her middle too, right? So like down here, or like a smaller one like down here. This one is actually important because it means that she can't travel under us for free. She has to actually position a little bit carefully, which is like really, really vital because sometimes that is what we use to like defend ourselves, especially in freefall. So like us going up like this and having this here is actually like huge. So with this in mind, the only other one I'd say is like up air would be what? Like just a little bit above her fair and in front of her, like here maybe?
Yep.
Cool. So what have we learned about like where her coverage is most exaggerated?
In front of her and up at an angle.
Yeah. If anything, this one actually feels too low if this is her fair. Like, this one actually needs to be bigger, which is crazy to think about. Like, I would actually say her back here is, like, kind of like here.
Okay.
Like, it's actually a dumb move. But with that in mind, I would agree with the general sentiment that, like, yeah, because that makes sense, like, especially with how, yeah. Cool. So above and behind her are very important, but she has more redundancy in front of her. And that's important to remember, because that means that we generally, like, when we're attacking Jigglypuff, whose threat distribution looks more like, well, you've done the Jigglypuff number pad, right? So, like, we know it's like, we know that when she's here, it's above her, it's directly above her, it's kind of over here, and it's kind of over here. So we can see that, like, it doesn't really matter which side we're facing as long as we can attack, like, this area of her. So this is why I keep saying, like, when she's above you, like, forward tilt. Because, like, any kind of alignment that travels under this point is going to be good for us. If we're in this area, generally speaking, this is phenomenal. Over here, like, even I would say, as far as... I'd say, like, maybe even, like, this is fine. And then anything that's, like, not this, like, this is, like, these two are sketchy, like, they're probably okay, like, they're, like, come see, come sa, and then, and then above, like, anything after that, like, probably not really an opening, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, this is, like, caution, but, like, you can probably make it work, and then this is, like, yeah, anything else over here is, like, no. Do not.
It's kind of like her version of like the needle triangle.
Yes. That's a good way to put it. Because that's actually kind of like exactly what it is. I haven't done the vertical bit just because like I don't think that we need to like we know how to like don't like what being above Puff looks like. Look at how you get this back air. Like when he goes in the air, like with him up there, look at how you like set this up. It's exactly at the alignment we said was good.
Yeah.
That one too. So what I'm hoping that we can extract from this is like, look at when you're underneath him after you land this back air. And it looks like you missed the L cancel, so fair enough. But like, imagine if we didn't, because we could have then immediately just come up with another back air. And then we can then move to side platform. So we kind of like one of the big things with Puff is because we know what our good positions are relative to her, we want to keep moving and like chipping her while she chases us, so we can like get that damage efficiently. So like how this looks is, well, actually, you tell me. So we go down here, we hit her with a bear on the way down. So like bear. And then we go up here afterwards, like that was the next play I said. So we go up here onto this one and we bear her again. What do you think comes next? Like, assuming that this one connects. Like, assuming this one connects because she keeps, like, chasing us. Because she will.
Yeah, I think what that's trying to kind of accomplish is putting her up more so that gets us more horizontal, good area under her. Yeah. So getting her up a little bit more and getting within that little triangle we were talking about before. Mm-hmm. We could either keep trying to go with bear, or like you're saying, turning around so we have that redundancy, so we can do like an aerial into an F tilt, or I guess you can kind of do back air into up tilt, but that doesn't cover as much.
So so this is I've been very, very sneaky because there's actually a really good play here, but like it's unlikely you would have seen it because it's conditional. It works because we have killed him and he's respawned.
Can I take a stab at it?
Sure.
Is it you basically try to bait them to come to the platform and get underneath the platform and hit them as they're going there?
Remind me, do you have your needles still?
I don't think I do.
You definitely do. Like you're...
Oh, I'm shiny. Cool.
Yeah. So like with that, because you get them charged up, you get this back air, you finish charging them up. You don't shoot them when you're like playing here, because I think that you just get this. So if you go up here with like that back air, because we hit the L cancel. You're here, and she's about here with like in the air, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if she comes any further forward, we can, or if she just lingers there, right? We could probably just short hop and needle her.
Okay.
Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you think we get off like the needles? Because remember, we have a full stack, so they're also like they're going to be some coming when we're on the, like, assuming we don't shoot them like right away, like right as we're going up, like we shoot them on the way down. We're probably going to have some hitting her like as we're descending, right?
Right.
Because like this will like we're probably gonna like have them like overlapping her around when she's around here, so we can probably then like run off and fair her again, and then just keep going.
Yeah.
Isn't that that's so much damage, right?
Yeah.
So like this is what I mean when I say like it's good to plan your routes versus Jigglypuff a little bit. Like granted, all of this is very optimistic. Like she could just like jump away this way, but here's the other thing: by landing on the platform with a full set of needles, we can actually shoot her for going there. Like we can also like shoot them straight. So really, what she has to do here to not take like a quintillion damage is go over here.
Mm-hmm.
And we're happy with that because now we have stage control. Because we're like Sheik, and we have our platform. She has to like respect this. She has to respect this line. We've boxed her effectively. Now we can set up our play, and we've also done like a whack of damage to her. We're very happy with this. And you can see how we've never once have we at any point in this setup put ourselves in a bad position.
Oh, in the bear needle setup?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So has she had an opportunity to rest us?
No.
Right.
At most, just getting some chip damage.
Right. So we've like taken her we've taken the bullets out of her gun, so to speak. This here is like also a huge opportunity that it actually comes up in the Crudo thing. I can show you how he does it if you want to see it, but like basically the idea here is that like with Jigglypuff being above the side platform like this, she can't do the aerial on like near here. Like if you go here and she's like oriented above it, she has to fall on you, and she can't go like at you with it, right? Like she has to kind of like awkwardly move away from you, which means you can just like slap her or back air her here. Because the platform is boxing her out of the angles that avoid those moves.
Got it. Okay, so you can basically kind of use the platform as cover to jump up and get an aerial in from through it, or is it getting on the platform to then do the aerial?
You know what? I will let Crudo explain this because he is very
Perfect.
good. He is extremely good at this. He's like all of his hits are basically come from that on the second stock. So let's watch let's watch the master at work. Down throw. Okay. So he does do the down smash there. I don't like that down smash, but it is what it is. So it's either... Oh, wait. Actually, it's the next stock, but this is still, like, really good because he's going to do some cool stuff in a second. Okay, so soon... So that's a good recovery. That one's worth noting. But let's find that jump thing. Because I think, like, your defense looks okay for the most part. It's just, like, we need to get you into, like, fighting better... We need to get you into better fighting positions. So I guess it's the next stock. Whoopsie daisy. But you notice, like, you can kind of notice that he's, like, he's not, like, rushing his, like, position, his fighting spots. He's, like, being very deliberate about them. Here, there. So you see how, like, he's waiting for, like, him to, like, commit to, like, where he's gonna go. And then the second that he shows his hand on anything, he's just ready with that back air. Boom.
Okay.
And it hits him through the platform, of course. So there's no risk whatsoever. And then, again, the second he goes through the platform... by him... The other cool thing here that I just noticed is that by him controlling this upper region, it forces SDJ to, like, play in this landing spot underneath his fair anyway. So this short hop is actually kind of, like, multi-tap... Like, this short hop stuff is actually covering both of these, like, spots really effectively. Above here and in front of him down here. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of like the two... So the platform is kind of like isolating, like boxing Jigglypuff out of the thing that she wants to do, which is align herself horizontally.
Okay.
Because it's cutting off one of his some of his approach angles. And like, if Sheik is already set up in that case, then yeah, she has to like either pull away too far for her stuff to be relevant, or alternatively, she has to just like try to figure out whether it's like a high or low thing that she does, and she can kind of cover both, honestly. Because we see that dynamic happening here. Like, so then this back throw happens, nothing happens because like middle of the stage, but she doesn't have a good throw there, so it's like whatever. Like, what else does she do? There's that crouch, which prevents the up tilt from doing anything, and then he gets a free he gets a rest punish off it because SDJ I guess assumed, and then here we go. Boom. Hits him above him. So on Yoshi's, you can go for up tilts because they hit through the platform. Same with Pokemon Stadium. But yeah, like on on Battlefield and Dreamland, you can totally just do your short up aerials. It'll just hit her through them. Gets the up air. That's a kill. Like, it's gorgeous play. Do you see things that you can apply to your play from this?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely need to work on like the short hopping under platforms in general, and that's a good incentive.
Being able to hit Jigglypuff for free in a bunch of spots is absolutely a very good reason to do like things in general. Because like you can see, like the other thing I want to point out here is this grab, because of how he did it, is super difficult to rest. Because you have like a lot of times when we try to grab Jigglypuff, we're moving forward because like we're doing dash jump cancel grab or whatever. But by doing this pivot grab or like standing grab or wave dash back grab or like wave dash in place grab or something like that, something that keeps us from moving forward, we're not overlapping her. She has to jump and into us and rest instead of jumping in place or wave dash into us and rest, which is significantly harder than just like down Bing, like than pressing Y down B.
Right.
Yep, because there's like the onus is on her to then move her into position. Instead of like react and then to push the button, she has to react, move into position, then do it, which is like way harder. I guess it was the first stock actually then, because I know that it happens. So yeah, let's just look at this for just a second because there's better examples in here, and I know that. Okay, so we have this. This is good. He takes a down smash. The down smash is better here because it's an anti-air. See what I mean?
Right.
Yep. This was a little ratchet. I don't like that F-tilt. And I love F-tilt. Like, what the hell? I think SDJ is, like, feeling kind of, like, desperate here. But that's okay. Then he jumps above the platform. Good frame trap. Good nair.
How's the platform situation of frame trap?
Oh. Simple. So he gets up here. So it's kind of like, I guess it's not really, I guess like, so he shield drops below him. And then I think he tries to come up with like up air. Something like that, or whatever. Back air. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then down smash just eats it. That's it. He could have, like, rested, technically. But, yeah, that would be, like, that's not an easy thing to do on the fly.
Right.
That could have been a rest.
That's rating, because they're at 93. Granted, I don't know if Dreamland that matters, but...
Oh, she definitely dies on respawn. You just up smash her.
Okay.
Or down throw up air her. Like, down throw up here on the platform definitely kills. I'm pretty sure it kills from the... I think it might even kill from the floor at this percent. You see how aggressive he gets to be here? Like, it's... This is why I really like this set as a learning tool, because he does a lot of, like, the basics, like, super well. And we can see, like, when you're going for those kinds of plays, too. Like, those up tilts were pretty safe. Like, the F tilt fair was quite good. The way you're spacing and, like, pressuring him, that grab was very, very ambitious, but you got it, so it's all good. Let's talk about what we would do afterwards. So, like, when he's over here and he's kind of, like, operating above you after this, like, you get this, you get under him here. Like, what do you think makes sense here?
What would Kyle Crudo do?
Yeah, what would Kyle Crudo do? Instead, like, let's say you don't, like, take to the air. Let's say you stay on the ground.
Sure. Yeah, so I think I was jumping into that nair way too quickly. I just kind of, we were talking about playing hands. I definitely played my hand too quickly. Because, like, in that position, they're probably trying to, yeah, like, they're in the air to the left. I'm on the ground. I want to try to get under the little triangle and look for an opening.
Yeah.
And I think I was just rushing to get the hit in as opposed to finding the good spot for it. Because under there, like under the platform, or even in this situation right here, like I've got tilts. You know, they're in the air. I can grab potentially if they like do a bad aerial or drift funny. Dash attack would pop them up smash. Yeah, basically like, and crouching too. I think I should be crouching in here as well, because that also makes that vertical distance
there we go.
bigger.
I was waiting for that. I was like, will he catch it? And it's like, yes, crouching. That is the big one. Because the thing is, like, with her like recovering out of disadvantage, it's pretty, like, let's be real. How many times have you ever seen a Jigglypuff like double jump swing with back air like out of disadvantage just because they can? Probably like once or twice, perhaps. Like it's a thing that they sometimes or want to do. And I think it makes a lot of sense here for her to do it, because like we've been like representing the air a lot. Even if we're not representing the air a lot, it's just safe versus the immediate double jump back air in general. So like whether she does it or doesn't do it, it doesn't really matter low key, because we're still like the only things she has that hits us is if she like full drifts in from here and then like back airs at the ground. After she's been bat around a little bit, what do you think the odds of her, like, doing that are? Like, next to nothing?
Yeah.
I agree. I think that would be a very big call-out. I could see her pounding, but, like, the thing is, pound, we have the audio cue to work with, and it's also, we're tiny, she'd have to aim it at us, like, we can probably shield it and get a grab at that point. Like, if we just crouch there, like, we just hop up and, like, get a slap or something after, and we get a free hit, like, we are cooking. I like this patience. This is really good. This, we needed to... Okay, you actually did, like, react. Oh, my God. No!
Yeah,
okay.
And then I down tilted. I was like, damn it.
That was so good!
And then I did the down smash, because that's what I wanted to do at first. And I get fall into that trap too much, where I mess something up and then immediately try to do it again. But...
Yeah, like, what surprises me here is, like, why, like, you say you wanted to down smash. I'm thinking we just buffer shield drop out of the spot dodge and back air her, because she's right here.
Got it. I need to work on shield dropping out of light shield because I light shield with bits by holding down Z, and
Okay.
I need to work on that. It's not difficult. I just need to do it.
Yeah, it's just like it's the same input. You just keep holding it, and like towards the end of the spot dodge, like within the last 5-ish frames of the spot dodge, you just buffer the. You just move into shield drop. It's fine. Like the stick into shield drop. It's fine. But yeah, like that makes like, oh my god. Like you have like that's such a good idea. Like the choice to like do the light shield minigame there is actually like it's not something I would have thought of, but like it makes a lot of sense. I really like that. I really like that decision.
The light shield in general is something I actually learned from Jank in terms of like because he will poke my feet if I don't light shield on platform. So I started trying to do that more.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Jank uses he him. I didn't know that.
I think he's he they.
Oh, he they. Okay. I was gonna say like with the hair at the nails, I'm like getting like some they energy, but it's all good.
There's the energy in there. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I didn't misread that. Okay, so Yoshi's story. Talk to me about Yoshi's story. Why this stage?
I mean, it's low. You can get stuff off the platforms. You can use little ramps to go for grabs that can't get rested.
What am I gonna say here?
Oh, don't down smash?
No, like here.
Oh. I'm sorry, I think I missed that. Here?
Why do we not have full needles?
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
This is I'm not going to dwell on that one, but that's just like a note to self. Please do that. Also, okay, so this is something important. When we are hitting Jigglypuff near platforms, this is why treating them as a pressure spot is really important, because you'll notice you hit this down throw nair and you pull away. If we go forward after this hit, she has to tech on the platform or she DIs up, and we're happy to be under the platform anyway. Right? Because she either DIs away and this happens, or she DIs in and goes up here, and then we're under the platform and closer to her, and we have these protecting, like, restricting her angles. And then we can, like, look for our sharking stuff anyhow. This pull away is, like, incredibly costly. We want to push forward here. Because, like, that we could have gotten that, 100% we get that fair if we, like, hold forward.
Got it.
Like, it's weird, but, like, the biggest thing I noticed with you is, like, we need a bit, like, aside from the position, like, where do we choose to fight Jigglypuff? That was amazing. Good stuff. Like, hit it. What was great about this was how you, like, got the hit when you won this exchange here, and then she came down with, like, this. How you, like, moved into this was awesome. I would have up-tilted, probably. Because I want up-tilt up air, because she's at 73. But this nair is totally fine. It's safer, so there is an argument for it. The main thing I'm noticing with you is just, like, we want to have better decisions in terms of, like, what follow-ups, like, what setup moves we're going for, and, like, how we, like, capitalize on them. And it's more about the capitalizing, honestly, because your choices for, like, what advantage states you take is actually quite good, but we're not doing as much as we could with them.
Okay.
Like, and a lot of it has to do with backing off. Like, so here, we get this amazing grab on this, like, by punishing this misspaced F smash, and then, like, why are we backing off here?
That's a great question. I mean, there is that part of me that's like, hold center stage against Puff and don't try to challenge at the ledge too much, but I mean, obviously that's not what I need to be doing right now.
Well, like, so here's my question. How are we not challenging center stage by running here? Like, how are we not controlling center stage by being here?
I think it's probably more the fear of getting reversaled and getting sent off stage and dying.
I see. How does she hit us here? Like, if we crouch here, what on earth does she have that hits us?
Great question.
Like, you see what I mean? Because we can just like up tilt under the platform too. Like, if we get directly under her, we can just up tilt spam, and if she moves to a side, then we can address that problem as it arises. But Kyle Kruda would 1000% be up tilting here.
Right. Yeah. I'm not saying the logic is sound. I'm just saying that's what the logic was.
Honestly, the funny part is, like, the way that you, like, moved back and came forward after is actually amazingly good. Because, like, with him being here, you could just dash forward and slap him.
Yeah.
Like, this is so good. And the thing is, like, as we've discussed, like, he can't really, like, do a whole lot because, like, he can't really do a whole lot about it. Your fair is also faster. Like, your fair comes out on 5. You can nair him if you're really concerned about startup time, because, like, that means you're hitting on 6. Her back air hits on 9. Like, you have so much advantage here. And you see, like, he just kind of, like, let him get into a position where he's lateral with you instead of challenging him this entire way down. And yeah, like, maybe if he wins the exchange, like, he back airs you, but, like, the thing is, then you're, like, accepting you get hit by back air across the level. So you never die there. Like, nothing bad happens, you just take some damage.
So can we go back a little bit?
Yeah.
So
Fear
in the situation after I get the fair, like after I send them off.
Mm-hmm. So like here into what spot?
It's when they get sent off stage, and then I get to the platform, and then I don't know if I can get into that. I think a little further.
Okay. Let me know when.
Yeah.
Oh, so this one.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so you get this. Love this.
And then from here, doing that reset there, would I'd be better off trying to get to ledge or get like under the platform and like try to challenge them there? Or is kind of resetting to middle?
You know, funnily enough, this is actually where 7 and 9 are really good. Like the other main way in on Jigglypuff. Because you know how like we have being under her, but we also have the diagonals. So this is actually a phenomenal spot for the diagonals if we stay on the platform. So we were here, right? Like roughly? Cool. So what we do here is we short hop forward. So we go to about here. And then like look at this lovely trajectory we have.
Right.
Oh, this looks good. Because on our way down, we can shoot anywhere in this field. And we can store needles, and if she backs off, we can store them, so then we have a better shot on the next one. If when we land here, we can also shoot them straight. We can fall through the platform and fire them. Like, this is good. Now we're cooking. We're cooking here. This looks real strong. See what I mean?
Yeah, and so the needles would send them maybe down and back a little bit.
Yeah.
Then we kind of use that opening to get to ledge and back air.
Or just keep shooting her. Remember, she only has 5 jumps, and only 3 of them are big. So if we what we're doing is we're creating like a death trap for her, basically. Like we're trying to deplete her resources so that when we get, because let's be real, Jigglypuff at 62 is probably not dying from these needles. We can we can acknowledge that, but her jumps move her like kind of like these. She still has a few left. I haven't been counting them or keeping track of them, but like let's say she goes here and stays and gets hit like by this standing needle, right? Like say we fall, we hit her, we have that. Maybe she has like 4 jumps. Let's say she has all her jumps. She has 4 left at this point. Where do you think she goes from here? So we've landed. We're on the ground, like say over here. Where do you think she goes after that happens? With 4 jumps remaining.
Probably up.
Okay, what happens if we shoot her again? Because like if she if she goes here and we just like nick her again because she's still in the line, so we totally could. She's now down to 3. She has 2 big ones left. No, she has 1 big one left. She probably like goes down here, doesn't she? Or she tries to like go above us again, and like maybe she gets.
My thought was trying to get above the needle angle, but yeah, the other option I think is trying to go in and get to ledge.
Okay. If she goes in and goes to ledge, then she has to like advance into our zone, so we can see her doing that. We probably don't have the time to like short hop needle, but at that point we've landed here, so we could probably just like fall through and back air her.
Right.
Then we like hit her away. It's like, you see what I mean? Like we're just creating, like we're using our ability to control this like really the area that we control most effectively, which we'll do like with this, is really about here. Like this is like the area that we have the most dominance in. just generally speaking in this spot.
Okay.
So we are trying to like create like a maze for her to move through here that is like very difficult for her to overcome. And like a lot of it is structured off like how we control the edge here. Oh wait, backwards, whatever. And you can see how this works. Like it's just we move up and down from this point and this point very efficiently, and we have like a lot of coverage in this space. So we're just trying to like use this to like box her into these spots so we can just keep hitting her. Because if she doesn't have any jumps or has like limited amounts of them, we can just keep beating her up. We just keep hitting her and hitting her and hitting her. Because once she's down to like her last 1 or 2 jumps, she'll make it back, sure. Like she can just double jump pound away from the stage, probably into that little zone and like keep pounding and coming back and doing her thing. But like we can just keep hitting her. Because we're Sheik and we're invincible and we've got projectiles and such. And our back is more
just... in that same situation anyway, but with like 10-15% less on her.
Yeah. So, like, what we're doing, and, like, again, we're looping her through, like, this situation. You will sometimes kill her here. Amazing conversion. Love to see it. That was, like, 10 out of 10 textbook. How did you get that hit, actually? So, oh, full hop needle, love it. Beautiful. So, I gotta say, you're doing this matchup pretty well overall on this game. I can see why Yoshi's works for you. Why not Battlefield, out of curiosity? Or is this best of 3?
Best of 5.
Okay, gotcha.
I think I was doing Yoshi's for the kill percent. Jank tends to do pretty well on Battlefield. I think they like to use the lips, like in up air under the lip a bit, or the whole go all the trolley shit.
By the way, I don't know if you saw that, but it was very funny. Her back, he just like back aired at you in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so this happens. So like you get the rest punish on him. This happens, like we accidentally dash attack into the corner. And then you get hit by this, you turn her and crouch. And I want you to like look.
Yeah.
Like it just completely shuts that down. Now, granted, the slope is helping you, but, like, still, that's so good. Like, see how, like, annoying this is?
Again, yeah. Yep.
So, what I would say here is, an important piece of tech skill is being able to, like, dash jump forward into, like, nairs and stuff, when or fairs, or, like, dash jump full hop fair on some of these. Like, this one I would probably... Actually, when this one misses, I would go to the platform. So, like, just jumping up here, and, like, you want to turn around. Ideally, you want to turn around, which is hard. But, like, turn, like, if you can, turn, like, dash, turn, like, and then go this way so you can teeter, and you have access to back here. If that's too hard, that's fine. Like, just go up on, like, just jump, short hop, and, like, nil onto this, or, like, short hop onto the platform, or, like, full hop waveland kind of thing. If you can avoid the full hop waveland, I'd do it. You could also do the waveland teeter this way, actually, because like you just do this. But you see what I mean? Like we want to get into a position where we can actually fight from, and aren't just like missing moves that have less range than her back air in front, like next to her, because that's kind of like what happens here. See what I mean?
Right. Yeah, because I'm just doing fairs and.
Yeah, we didn't have to let her box us here. We could have just gone up here. Like I think that this is an important play. Like this here, teeter shield, or like just short hop onto the platform into stuff.
What is so teetering on the lip there?
Yeah.
That gets me access to back air.
No,
or it like a reverse back air.
It just gets rid of all your lag.
Okay.
So here, I'll show you real quick because this is a quick trick. So basically, like, you see how, like, we're skipping all the waveland lag? Wait. It's been a while. I swear
okay, so you waveland into teeter so that you can be actionable. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, because, like, the thing is, like, you can then do that. You can also, like, Marth Killer, which is pretty good. Because the reason for...
And so do you do light shield so you don't slide off?
Light shield is just because it's huge, and then because of like this, here, we'll actually save Sheik here. Record, frame advance. So then like, yeah, we'll just hold her here for like for a while. And then, yeah, we'll just keep that. Recording, playback, loop input, playback, and then take control of this guy. Oh, did I mess that up? Oh, wait, shit. Restore positions. Okay. So I messed that up, that's okay. But basically, by Marth Killering here, if he comes up and hits you with, like, back air or whatever, by holding forward, you'll just fall off, and then you can do whatever.
Got it. Okay.
It's just Marth Killer. Like, we know what Marth Killer does.
Okay, so you're just skipping the teeter animation and going straight into shield.
Yep.
Okay.
And then it gives you the ability to, like, counter hit him if he comes forward if he jumps up in aerials. The only aerial he has that, like, actually addresses that is his down air, and we don't care about him down airing us there. Because it doesn't do anything. He's just taking damage. This is a 2-1 or 2-0?
What do you mean?
The set. I mean, sorry, is this a 3-1 or 3-0?
It's a 3-0. I biff it here.
No. What happens? Do we get rested?
I get rested. Yeah, they're at like 80 and I get rested.
Okay, so this one was like this was a knowledge test, but like this one was, you had a guaranteed kill here. It's just up smash out a shield and he pounds.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that one was just like, that's a whatever. You still get the kill, so it's all good. Jigglypuff always rests for the fishes for like rest here. How do you lose this? No! Needles!
Yeah, I was trying to do the up smash and I fucked up.
Needles! Take the needle, fully charged needles!
I wanted to do the cool tipper up smash from the platform.
I know, but fully charge the needles. Then do it.
I do literally have one of my points being like, where do I charge needles, or when do I charge needles? And obviously when they miss a rest.
How do you lose this? This is like, okay, to be fair, I have lost this exact game, but like, man. Okay, this is good. This is good. No! Okay, so why did we get let go of the edge here? This is what I want to know. What was the logic here? So, like, this is all amazing. All of this looks good. We get this, like, back air. If this should have been a strong hit nair, it's all good. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's, like, a minor thing. So...
I think I just missed the ledge.
Okay, gotcha. So then this happens. Oh, I get it. Okay. This is a missed... This is, like, how efficiency has... You have been bitten by efficiency here. You needed to fast fall. So, like,
okay.
You needed to fast fall from the back air. So, like, here you see how you're not, like, fast-falling these? So it's, like, taking you a while to get back to the edge. If you had fast-fallen, you would have been at the edge already.
Got it. Okay.
Which means that you can then cover. With how you did this, you actually still can make this work, but you have to ledge attack.
Right. Get up attack from ledge.
Yep, because then you, like, hit behind her, and then hits her off. It's a little risky, but she's, like, the instant she falls below the ledge while you're still invincible, it's totally fine.
Okay.
So, like, and that will continue the edge guard. Alternatively, you can just abandon ship and play from the stage, which is not ideal, but, like, it's probably safer. But, yeah, you had, like, lines of play, but, like, all of this is solved by just fast falling. And now, yeah, I know what this looks like. We're just, like, I have to hit the Jigglypuff mode.
Yeah.
Did you try to trick her with that up B by, like, not landing on stage? Like, when you recovered here, you could have made it to the stage, so were you trying to trick her with that angle?
I was trying to make it ambiguous. Like, I was trying to... Yeah, I think I was trying to trick.
Tisk, tisk. We always take the hit there. Because, like, she can't rest us.
I may have also just messed it up. I was trying to get on stage, but, like, just barely.
Gotcha. So what I am saying is, I would just strictly prioritize getting on stage. I would not try to make it ambiguous because she can't rest us. If she does, she loses. So she has to do a somewhat more difficult edge guard by getting up from the ledge and then hitting us with something, or she gives us something that's like DIable and or OMS attackable, like F smash. So like because of that dynamic, I would always land on stage there. And like I wouldn't worry about the other stuff. Because my priority is not tricking her. My priority is making sure I have an extra stock so she can't, like... So rest is still off the table.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. How are we at time? I feel like we're...
I was just saying, I think we're, like, 8:07, so I think we're over.
Oh, no, because we started late. So we're actually at like 15 seconds. I just want to see how this, like, is there anything from this match that you want to go over? Like, because you're like, I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything. I think you have how to get down versus puff up here. Let's go over that one, because that one is important. And are we at the right time? 7:20. So no, it would be further back. Because this one is important. So cool. So it happens around here. So this is good. How to get out / get down versus puff up air. So you must go above him. Okay. You had the right idea. You had the right idea here. You went to the, you DI'd to the side. The problem was you didn't have to double jump.
Okay.
Yeah, because like with you, the way you DI'd this, and it would have been hard to know this, but you actually were just actionable. If you just like fast fall onto the platform and block, you're totally fine.
Okay.
Assuming you double jump though, because like let's be real, this happens a lot. The big thing I would say here is honestly, it's more of like this. Getting down from here is from when you're aligned above her is really more of a timing mix-up than anything else.
Okay.
So using your fast fall here is super, like being tricky about how you use your fast fall and what things you're using that hit below you effectively is super, super, super vital. So remember, what are your moves that hit below you? Coming down.
Dare, forward part of bear. Does Nair poke beneath you at all?
A little bit, yeah. So like Dare is like here, but it's like slow. Like it has the weakness of taking like 15 frames to come out. So like this is not really like this is a somewhat temperamental solution. We also have back air here. Like back air hits here and here. And this one is on 4. This is like very appealing for that reason. It's probably like a little bit lower probably, but it's fine. And then we have Nair. Nair would probably be around here. Doesn't hit as low as the back air, which hits on, but it hits on 3. So one thing I would say in general, when you're working with moves like this, it's counterintuitive, but you don't actually want to swing right away if you're doing the Nair or bear a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that might be?
I mean, up there, like they're gonna end by the time you reach the puff.
I mean, like even if you're like coming down, you don't necessarily want to swing right away.
Oh, gotcha. Because I mean, we're really using it as more of like a get off tool, right?
Yeah.
And we want to make it so that we're hitting them as we're landing.
Yeah, so like let's look at like what Sheik looks like when she's just kind of like in her neutral fall animation, like in general. So let's compare this. So like she's up here, she's kind of like a ball right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's a very small target. If Jigglypuff wants to hit her with something, she has to come up like a pretty long way. So what we are doing is we are using that as a bait to hit this. Because like look, like when she's a ball, she's probably about this big, right? So then all of a sudden this nub sticks out as Jigglypuff comes up to hit us. Same thing, same idea with our Nair. Because, like, again, our nub, like, the Sheik is probably like this right now, so all of a sudden this comes out. The other nice thing about doing it this way is that if we fall into her, if we fast fall into her and then do it, we're also, like, overlapping our body with her sooner than she might expect, so that's a way that you can win the timing mix-up. And the other thing here is we're hitting with the strong hit, so we're more likely to have enough stun to actually get away from her. Interestingly, this is actually where down air being slow can actually be beneficial, which is weird to say out loud, but the idea with down air is we're throwing out the hitbox ASAP, which means that we are then, which means if we have an active hitbox out immediately, she has to then space around this thing, and it's not terribly difficult to do so, but remember, her up air is not super fast. Her up air is more of a move, is kind of like, her up air is kind of like, it's kind of like a Ganon up air, honestly. But like without all of the range. It's sort of like Yoshi up air. In that it's not the fastest move, but it has a crazy hitbox. So it's more like there's a lot of planning involved with using this move. Because hitting on 9 is like not terribly fast. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make her plan around something. And then we're changing the script on her. So this is why like things like fast fall, delaying your aerial, sometimes doing them immediately, where we drifting to the side, that's super important. Now, if you can, if you don't double jump straight up like this, you can also just like hold to the side and try to get an angle for your back air. That's also quite good. In general, if you can create an angle where you're like over here to her and just come down with back air, that is significant. That is the best thing you can do to get down from her. But because you're already above her and you didn't move enough to the side initially, then yeah, she just kind of has you. Now, there's one more thing that we want to do. You had the right idea, believe it or not, with a lot of those air dodges. The thing is, though, we want to be more precise, and we want to actually hit the platform. The problem we have here is that, like, on that last one, the last one is really the big problem here. So we're going to go back to that one, and we're going to watch this very carefully. Why do you think I am going to say the last one was the problem? Like, this here, what we do here is a huge problem. The fact that we don't do anything with this action ability. Because what do you think we could have done?
I mean, we could have air dodged to the right instead and gotten to that platform. We could have got another aerial out. I mean, at that position, too, we could have gotten 2 out, right? Because we could have aerialed and then shield dropped another aerial. Or even just landed with light shield.
How active is her up air again?
Not very.
Right, and when in our air dodge, how invincible is our air dodge? Do we know that? We gotta know that. That's gotta be somewhere. Let's go to the bottom here. It's probably down here. Maybe they don't have it. How do we not have this? That's so sad. All right, whatever. It is invulnerable. Air dodge. Perfect. So let's look at this for a second. It is invincible on 4, I believe, yeah. So, I bet we can probably align our air dodge to overlap with that hitbox and then land.
So, like, we could do it off of a cue of her starting her up air?
I mean, we probably, like, there's not much of a cue. Like, I don't think she makes a noise with it. But, like, we can see her, like, moving into position to up air as she approaches the platform. Like, she has to basically, like, she would have to read the air dodge, essentially, in order to, like, get it. Which means that we're, like, we're just playing a game of chicken. But the cool thing here is, like, by, like, air dodging from maybe from here to here at this angle, we're also playing for the teeter cancel shield, which is great. We're also giving ourselves, like, a good amount of travel time to work with. So I'm thinking, like, we basically, like, here with air dodge, super, super, super powerful. Because we're like, getting rid of the 10 frames of landing lag. So, like, that's being checked. Like, because of the teeter. We're also giving our jump back, which is huge. So, plus jump. Check. We're also giving ourselves intangibility to dodge Jigglypuff's up air. So, like, this is out. So, plus good versus up air. Good versus air. Yeah, like, you see what I mean? Like, we have, like, an amazing position to work with in terms of, like, being able to play for a really powerful defensive out, and we're just not taking it. Like, granted, you don't know about this, so, like, it's all good, I get it. But going forward, you can see how, like, playing for this is super powerful, because it just it takes a lot of the teeth out of her character.
Got it. Okay.
Because it's invincible from 4 to 29, I believe. So all you need is, like, this to overlap and to land somewhere within, like, after, like, 8. You just need to land somewhere after, like, 8, 9, so that you, over here, and you're good. Because she's only active from 9 to 12. So all you have to do is beat 4 frames.
Okay.
That's totally... And you can see how that's totally doable here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that in mind, let's call it here. I would strongly urge you, this air dodge thing is super, super vital, and it helps a ton versus, like, basically every single floaty character that up airs us. It's... Like, Sheik's air dodge is probably one of the most important defensive moves that you can possibly know on her. So, building skill with that, vital. Aside from that, I'd say generally, like, it's all about general positioning and trying to find ways to, like, continuously, like, especially in early game versus Puff and floaties, or anyone in general versus as Sheik, really, finding ways to, like, hit them out of the air with, like, a back air, like when we mapped out that Jigglypuff route on Dreamland. Like, after you hit that initial falling back air and they're in a vulnerable spot, you want to just, like, kind of have an idea on where you're gonna path to, like, continuously have good position in the like throughout that sequence. It's not really about comboing them super hard so much as it is about like, because we don't have the stun for that yet, so much as it's about like just making sure that we're always in a favorable spot. Because the wonderful thing about Sheik is you don't actually need to combo them like most like the floaty characters and mid-fallers that hard, because they just like in air to air and air to ground, everything is decided by disjoint anyway, and we have some of the best buttons in the game. So yeah, like just make them fall on our stuff, make them like play in like from crappy angles into our stuff, and it doesn't matter if it's stun locked if they can't do anything. And aside from that, just please charge the needles when she misses roast before you do anything. Okay. Unless you have to act immediately, but like come on, she like hit your shield. Like, yeah. Aside from that, that's everything I wanted to go over. Do you have any thoughts or anything you want to flag or call out?
No, I think that was all really good. Yeah, no, I got nothing. I think that's a lot of really useful information, and yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say, the one I'm going to specifically call out is, like, learn to use air dodge and vulnerability frames to dodge low-duration sharking moves. Like Marth Sword, like Marth Uer, Puff Uer. By the way, this is amazing versus Marth, Falcon Uer, etc. And touch down, and while allowing you to touch the platform, touch platforms and other platforms / other surfaces. It's really good versus Marth's F smash too, by the way, if he's like and up tilt. Aside from that,
so they're F smashing you on a platform. Okay, that's really handy.
Or on FD, like if they miss the up air and because of drift, and then they go for up tilt for coverage or like F smash, if you just air dodge through it, like those are such laggy moves. You're fine.
Okay, so not even worrying about like a teeter there. You're just going through it.
Yep.
Okay.
Teeter cancel opportunities out of disadvantage. Like look for ways to set those up and find them. There's a really good video that Hacks made about certain positions that use that. So if you want, I can link you that. But it's you might have seen it already. If not, if you want me to link it anyway, I'll do that. And the other thing I would say that's like super critical is just like versus Puff and other characters with death touch punishes. Where Sheik doesn't have much offense on her end. Prioritize fighting. Not fighting in unfavorable spots, and repositioning. And looking to proactively reposition to more favorable conditions, and for more favorable, for more favorable ones, actively. So bracket side platform under Puff, side platform diagonal under the opponent's full hop height, etc. Like those are some usual ones to look for. And with that, I think we're at time. I think that covers it. I will see you around. And if you have any follow-up questions, you'll hit me up about this stuff, right?
I will.
All right, awesome. Later, man. I'll see you around.
Thank you so much.